Are we about to see history repeat itself, eh? The shadow of a potential second Trump term is looming, and it's casting a long shadow over Canada's oil industry. But what exactly does that mean for our energy future, our jobs, and, frankly, our peace of mind? It's not just about pipelines. It's about the potential for trade wars, the future of Alberta, and whether Canada can actually meet its climate goals. Are we prepared for the possible disruption? We're diving deep into the complexities of this situation, exploring the potential impacts on our economy and environment. Get ready to unravel the threads of this critical issue. You'll gain insights into what a Trump presidency could mean for Canada's energy sector and, more importantly, you'll be equipped to understand the big picture. Stick around. It's going to be a bumpy ride. Canada's energy sector hinges on our relationship with the U.S.-Canadian winter. But a potential shift in American policy could throw everything into disarray. We've seen it before. The problem? Our dependence. A protectionist U.Canadian oil, impacting jobs, investment, and our overall economic well-being. We need to understand these vulnerabilities. This isn't just about economics, it's about environmental policy, too. Differing approaches to climate change could put Canadian producers at a disadvantage, undermining our efforts to build a sustainable energy future. We'll unpack the key policies and potential scenarios, so you can understand the stakes. Think of it as a roadmap to navigate the uncertainties ahead, helping you grasp the implications for Canada's energy future. A helpful visual aid might be a side-by-side comparison of Canadian and U.S. energy policies. What's your take on Canada's next move, eh? Jump into the comments. Your experiences and questions shape the conversation. Let's brainstorm solutions together. Your insights are vital as we face this uncertain future. Subscribe now for in-depth analysis of Canadian energy and politics. Let's get down to brass tacks. What can Canada actually do? First, diversify. Think Asian markets, European opportunities, anything to lessen reliance on the U.S. second, green tech. Invest in reducing emissions. It's not just responsible, it's smart business. Imagine Alberta producers selling cleaner oil at a premium in Europe while simultaneously buffering against you. That's the goal. We'll break down specific strategies, like government incentives for green tech and trade missions to new markets. Think of it as equipping ourselves with tools to navigate whatever comes our way. By understanding these options, we can better assess Canada's path forward. The clock's ticking, eh? With the American election on the horizon, the potential for radical shifts in U.S. delaying action could leave Canada scrambling to adapt. The pressing challenge? Predicting the unpredictable. Trump's policies are often driven by instinct and negotiation, making it difficult to anticipate specific actions. This uncertainty demands proactive planning. We need to identify vulnerabilities now to safeguard our economic future. Understanding these risks prepares us for informed decision-making. Failing to address this now means risking significant economic damage and falling short on our climate goals. It's about being prepared, not panicked. All right, let's break it down, eh? What's energy independence in the American context? It's the push to produce all the energy the U.S.-Canadian oil. Visual aid suggestion, a map showing Canadian oil pipelines to the U.S. versus U.S. domestic production areas. But how does this impact Canada? If the U.Canadian crude demand drops, prices fall, and Canadian producers suffer. What about tariffs? Imagine the U.Canadian oil imports. This makes our oil more expensive for American refineries, further reducing demand. And Keystone XL? It's not just a pipeline. It's a symbol of energy cooperation. Its cancellation signaled a shift in priorities, with major financial consequences. These factors combined paint a challenging picture. So how do we actually put this knowledge to work? Let's say a new trade deal emerges. Instead of panic, Canada needs a rapid response team ready to negotiate favorable terms. That's one strategy. Another, investing in carbon capture technology. By reducing the carbon footprint of our oil sands, we make our product more appealing in a global market prioritizing sustainability. What if a trade dispute arises? Canada needs to be prepared to launch formal challenges through international trade organizations. These things take time, but we can't wait around. It is more than just reading the news. It is about being ready and quick to respond. Let's look at some big-picture moves. Consider Norway's sovereign wealth fund, which invests oil revenues in a diversified portfolio. Canada could explore similar models, reducing reliance on oil revenues alone. We could also champion international cooperation on climate change. By working with other nations to set ambitious emissions targets, we strengthen the global push for sustainable energy, creating new markets for low-carbon solutions. These are some advanced strategies. What happens if the U.S. goes rogue? Create plans to mitigate the effects in all possible fronts. The International Energy Agency projects a growing global demand for oil, even as renewable energy expands. This suggests there is still a market for Canadian crude, but it must be cleaner to compete. Research from the Pembina Institute shows that investing in carbon capture technologies can significantly reduce emissions from the oil sands, enhancing their environmental performance. A 2023 report by the Canadian Centre for Policy Alternatives found that diversifying export markets could shield Canada from the impact of U.S. anecdotal evidence idea. Feature a short interview with an Alberta oil worker who has transitioned to a green energy job. Numbers do not lie. Canada must respond. So, are we really at risk? The short answer is, potentially, yes. But risk isn't destiny. Actionable insights like diversifying markets and investing in green technology give Canada agency. Remember that report suggesting a 40% shield from diversifying exports? That's real impact. What about the argument that green tech is too expensive? The Pembina Institute's research suggests the long-term benefits outweigh the costs, especially when considering the global shift towards sustainable energy. These are not merely talking points. These are the keys to navigating an uncertain future. If Canada plays the cards right, it will be all right. Okay, let's recap. We've looked at the potential risks of a second Trump term on Canadian oil, the importance of diversifying markets, and the need to invest in green tech. The next step? Stay informed. Follow Canadian energy policy closely and engage in the debate. Support companies and initiatives that are working toward a more sustainable energy future. What do you have to gain? A more resilient economy, a cleaner environment, and a brighter future for Canada. By taking action now, we can shape that future together. Dive into the comments section and share your thoughts, eh? Looking ahead, remember, Canada's energy future is a story we're writing together, not a fate sealed in Washington. By understanding the risks and embracing innovation, we carve a more secure and sustainable path. Whether it's Trump or any other challenge, Canada's resilience hinges on our ability to adapt. So keep exploring the data, questioning assumptions, and pushing for a better future for all Canadians, eh? The path forward belongs to those willing to learn, innovate, and collaborate. And if we all work together, we will be better prepared to the future.